Hello, I'm Aaron. I was down at Loaves and Fishes for roughly 2 years off and on. I do distinctly remember a series of bad circumstances and not having a place to go and freezing temperatures and snow and ice and sleet and rain. And the shelter took me in and gave me a warm place to stay, food, something to do with myself in the evening so I wasn't just wandering the streets.
I work at the homeless shelter at Loaves and Fishes, and I first met Aaron when he came and needed a place to stay. He came into the shelter, and he came in more than once. There was a period of time when it was in and out for a while. His behavior was really erratic and a little bit crazy. He was very disruptive. I remember at a point in time he was taking things that belonged to residents, and his mind was just so out of sorts he didn't really realize that, and the residents were getting quite upset with him.
For a while there I had some psychosis going on, and I didn't understand anything going on around me, and I thought everything belonged to me, and I would take from the residents, not necessarily meaning to steal, but just take stuff from them, and I was always being kept in line by Cindy. And I remember one night particularly, instead of getting into it with the residents, they gave me a place to stay by the office to where I had basically my own room, and I had direct supervision, and that was a great help.
Hi, I run the warehouse at Loaves and Fishes, and I met Aaron through volunteer work and community service with me. When I first met him, he had wild and crazy hair, lots of facial hair. He was kind of on the wild side, I guess.
For 3 or 4 weeks there, I had some issues, and I wasn't supposed to be in the shelter, but they would let me in until closing time just to stay warm and get something to eat. And then the next morning they'd open the door for me and give me breakfast.
There were issues with behavior and just the way he acted. The one thing that sticks in my mind is Aaron and his Bible. He always held on to his Bible. And there was a time when he was going to be going to jail, but he was very adamant about coming back and getting his Bible.
I ended up going back to jail for some little charges I had copped, and when I got out of jail, the first place I went was NCI, and when I ended up at NCI, I completely got a new foundation in Christ and was able to find things that I was searching for.
When Aaron first came to NCI, I would describe him as timid and shy and nervous. He came straight from jail, and his demeanor was just, he was scared, he was nervous, and he was quiet. But we gradually saw him come out of his shell in amazing ways. He was a prankster and a joker, and he won everybody's hearts. Everybody loved Aaron.
Aaron did 109 hours of community service altogether when he was only ordered to do 100 hours of community service to be able to help give back to the place where he stayed in the shelter, and so I think it probably made him feel good to help give back to the community.
Some of the changes we saw in him: he went back to school. He'd never graduated high school, and he got his GED, and he performed extraordinarily well. And at one point I said to him, "Have you ever thought of going to college?" And I didn't think much more of it. And then he came back months later and said, "I just signed up for college. Remember you told me about that?" And I couldn't believe it. And he again performed extraordinarily well. He's just finishing up his first semester. He's training to be an EMT and a firefighter. He's done some amazing things. He's come off of all of his psychiatric medication. He's completely stable. He's been sober for over a year, and he just got engaged to a beautiful Christian girl. And we're very excited as to what the future holds for him.
It was just an awesome experience all around, and it made me what I am today, and I'm really grateful for what I got going on. Maintaining awesome grades in school and studying to be a firefighter and a rescue technician and trying to get involved with search and rescue. And none of that would have been possible without the shelter and NCI. Loaves and Fishes has really blessed my life.
He describes himself as a dead man walking. That's who he was when he came to New Creations Inn. But God, being rich in mercy, made him alive. And that's the power of a relationship with Jesus Christ. And we see that evidence in Aaron's life.